And that is our next speaker, who is Randal Cumming, Senior Business Strategy Manager from Unity. And as we have been discussing the customer experience today and how that can help, so Randal will actually be going through and saying, how can we go in and utilize the 3D visualization and also the complex product configuration, how that can work together from a 3D point of view, from a complex product point of view, and combine that together in a joint solution from Unity to Configit. So that will be one of the areas that Randal will cover. Randal comes with a lot of experience within the Unity and within visual configuration, especially on the competitive market, also for the complex manufacturing, and the ability to speed up, how we can speed up decision process basically through the visualization and 3D. The idea is really, how can you convince shoppers to be buyers? I think that's really the main thing. And with that, I would like to welcome Randal Cumming. Thanks for joining Configuration Lifecycle Management Summit, and we are really looking forward for your presentation on this B2B sale and marketing event.
Thank you very much.
With that, I would like to hand over to you.
Okay. I'm assuming everything is good to go. I'm a little delayed on my side, so it might throw me off for the first few minutes. So thank you. I'm really happy to be here at the Configuration Lifecycle Summit. I have been working, me and my team have been working with Configit for about 1.5 years now to sort of bring this solution forward. And the focus of my presentation is going to be more on the visualization end, which was sort of teed up. But know that this is a system that we're building with Configit to bring all the benefits that you've been hearing about today into not just the CPQ and data mine, but also a visualization container that your customers and your organization can view. So with that, I'm going to kick it off. And I'm starting the presentation with a series of product images. And I just want you guys to think to yourselves, what is the common theme among these product images that I'm sharing? So started with an interior of a car, nice looking car. It was a Volkswagen IP shot, very typical sales shot. Here's a great, sort of orthographic view of a luxury purse. Here we've got nice shoes. Another car shot, rear angle, showing the trunk, showing the design lines that the designers intended for the car. High-end watch, all great, all inspiring shots that sort of exude emotion of the brand and connect to the buyer. Here's another sort of detail shot showing the quality leather work of this purse and the suppleness of that leather. In here, detail shot of the button, detail shot of the twill and the fabric itself. So customers are really getting a good sense of what this product is. Obviously, that's a huge trend, shopping and buying online without actually ever seeing the product in person. And here's another car shot. So I'll sort of cut to the chase, and the common theme among these diverse products is none of them were real photographs of real products. These are all renders out of Unity. These are high resolution renders that are made from Unity Engine. Unity Engine is capable of a lot of different types of content delivery, and still images is one of them. So a couple more detail shots. And then, but what's the difference? What's the difference between an image and Unity? So in Unity, it's always real time. And what that means is art direction teams, marketing departments, agency partners always have the ability to go back into that master scene and change what they want to focus on. It also, when you deploy it in an interactive manner, allows the customers to interact with this product in a brand new way. So no longer are they limited to one point of view that was decided by an art director. They actually get to dive in and explore this product in a new and immersive way. And this is changing the way customers interact and expect content to be delivered to them. So in this example, one of the premises of the tool that we're building, the platform, is that it is used for all your marketing channels. So in this case, this is an example of a fully interactive purse on a website. You can see the configuration options below. Some of the benefits that Configit has already talked about in terms of inventory management, what markets are the different colors of purses sold in, all of that is what holistically we're working to connect from both the CPQ, CLM's point of view, and also the visualization. So your whole channel from content creation or from product creation to selling the product is all handled by this system. This is an example of where maybe you want a little bit more high fidelity render of the product. And these are pre-rendered images. So this isn't fully interactive, but it gives the sense of letting the customer at least spin the product in a 360. So again, informing the customer of what the product value is. It also sort of related to the first sort of still shots I showed. You can take that same master model, as it's called, and put it in different situations. So this is often called like in situ photographs. So different model, one model shoot, all your product line replaced virtually. This is an example of sort of a hybrid method. So this is where the front end is very lightweight. It allows the users to spin and have full interactivity and rotate the product wherever they want, but the content delivered would be very high fidelity. And the point of showing you all of these sort of endpoints and different ways of deploying this content is that we believe that you as the manufacturer and you understanding your customer understand the best way to communicate to them. We're just providing a vehicle to communicate to them in the way you choose. So we believe from these examples and from the trends and everything that we've been working on is that someday every physical product will be sold using 3D. We truly believe that because it is just such a more efficient process overall. We also believe every shopping experience will be 3D, interactive, cross-platform, and personalized. And the personalized portion of this comment can't be overstated. When you display something that is the best fit to the customer when they're first viewing your site, that makes a major impression. You're doing all the heavy work for them. You've analyzed their profile, you know their spending habits, you know what they've bought in the past, so you know what products would be best for them, and don't make them do the heavy work. Personalize your content, personalize your media, personalize your marketing channels to sell the best product to your customers that they deserve. So another reason why we believe every product's going to be sold online through 3D is that the results are very positive when displaying content in real-time 3D. There's higher engagement, there's higher overall purchase price, returns go down, so all the right numbers move in the right direction. The other reason we believe this is going to happen is that the buyers love the experience. So shoppers feel more confident in the products they're buying. They prefer it over videos. They feel like they're in control and they can explore the product at their own leisure. They understand that photos and videos can be retouched and curated. So they feel like they're actually experiencing the product more holistically when delivered in real-time 3D. So what Unity is doing is we are building a digital and marketing platform for every manufactured product. That's what our goal is, and that's what we're doing. And we are doing that in part now with Configit, where all of the logic of these products, again, how many colors does it come in? How many straps options are available for this watch? What are the prices in different markets? All is already contained and controlled by other systems. And that's not what we want to focus on. We want to focus on the visualization portion of that. So that's why we have partnered with Configit to sort of bring holistically this whole system to life. So the platform we're offering consists of 4 main pillars, which I'll give you an overview and then walk through in a little bit more detail. but it essentially involves a capture ingest process, a configure edit, a manage and collaborate, and a publish and share. So the capture ingest process, what that involves is actually getting a hold of your manufacturing data. So many of you have your own data of the products you're manufacturing today. So it's getting a hold of them, those systems that hold the data, retrieving it from those systems and doing a visualization exchange on that data. So we change manufacturing data into visualization data. So that's the import ingest. We also have solutions at Unity for if you do not have the design data of your product, we have ways to scan your product at scale so that you can just use the physical prototype to sort of create your first master model. And then there you can apply variants. You can inject it in the system and know where it's sold and what versions of it are sold where. Um, Next slide. Okay, so this is the build and edit. So once you've have that data, you're now essentially making a digital twin of your product. You're now applying the materials and the shaders that match the way you sell it in market. So do you sell it in red, green, and blue, and in different types of leather? So this is where you start basically virtually assembling your product into what's called a master model. That master model consists of all of the options in which you manufacture and sell that product. So if it's a tractor, for example, it's all the accessories that go with that tractor. It might be different axle ratios based on some options of the tractor. So like in automotive truck beds, sometimes the axles are further back on an extended truck bed. All of that is contained in one 3D file that is displayed in the proper way based on the configuration your customer is shopping for. So that's what this process is. It's building of the digital twin, building of the master model. The next part of the process is manage and validate. So this is where internally your product owners, product designers verify that the digital twin that has been created actually does in fact match the physical product. Maybe there was a color missed. Maybe there's a color that's not offered in a certain market. So this is where a lot of collaboration and internal decision making is done, and having a visual element of it versus just working from spreadsheets is also incredibly powerful. I'll touch on more uses beyond sales and marketing, but for right now, I'm focused more on the sales and marketing side. So then we get into manage. So we have a platform that then manages all that content, right? So you've done all this great stuff. Now you deploy it to the cloud and you can publish it to various endpoints. We're building connectors with different e-commerce platforms. We currently have a connector with Salesforce Commerce Cloud, so you can automatically just publish to Commerce Cloud. We're going to continue to extend that offering of different publishing endpoints out of the box. But one thing about Unity is that Unity is very extendable. So we have teams internally that can extend it. If it's not done as a product, you can work with, there's literally like millions of developers out there that know how to work with Unity. So anything that the product doesn't do out of the box can be added either in conjunction with ourselves or with outside vendors. So this is sort of, when I say publish, what does that mean? What does that exactly mean? And what that means is from that master model, you are going to publish images that are in print catalogs or point of sale display banners. You're going to make animations and films from this, just as you do with a physical product. Now you do it virtually. You can create VR, XR, and AR content. You can deploy it to shopping platforms, as I said. You can deploy it in different formats. So WebGL versus pixel streaming. So all these things are subtle differences that I'm not going to go into, but just know that that publishing end is important in what kind of content you're publishing from the system and where you're publishing it to, and ultimately is the data that is happening from the response of those publishing endpoints. So what features are your customers most interested in? What are they exploring? What are they all double clicking on to make sure they understand more thoroughly? That's valuable information for you as an organization, for your sales team to maybe double down and clean up some questions about the products, or for your design teams to make your next iteration of the product better. This is an example, I touched on it already, but this is just an example of the Salesforce publishing. So this is just in a sandbox. This isn't skinned to be like any sort of brand, but basically the way that we've set it up is similar to Configit, where it's at the product level. So all the information that you have in Configit can come into Unity, into that visualization engine, and then we also then publish it to the commerce platform. In this case, Salesforce. It could be Magento, it could be BigCommerce, it could be your own e-commerce platform. But that metadata that was pulled from Configit, from the CLM system, is carried along with the asset that's created. And that makes deployment very simple. This is an example of a sort of a more holistic application. So rather than just a single configurator, now you're making the whole web page dynamic. So you're sort of informing and sort of carrying that customer choice along through the rest of that customer journey. So I'm going to talk a little bit more in detail about the Unity and Configit relationship and system that we're building. So the two companies, there's a lot of shared values, and there's a lot of shared core understanding or core mantras in the way we build our products. It's build once, deploy anywhere, single source of truth, right? Those are sort of very core values to both companies. And the reason why this relationship has made a lot of sense to both companies is that Configit is highly focused on that configuration portion, and Unity is highly focused on the visualization component. And when you combine those together with some product engineering, you now have a system that can take you all the way from design and engineering out to sales and marketing, and even further down the product lifecycle. What are we solving? What is the benefit, right? So there's definitely a shift in buyer behaviors, right? And I've touched on that already. So customers are much more willing today to buy products unseen, and they're starting to buy higher and higher price tag items in that manner. So it's giving companies the ability to go D2C if they choose. I know dealer networks are very important and critical to a lot of companies and industries, but it gives companies the ability to go directly to the customer and get that relationship with them. Increased sales cycle. So these complex products, obviously, it's a long sales cycle. So this is just another tool in the arsenal to shorten that sales cycle, because the understanding of the product when deployed in this manner is so much richer for the buyer that it helps shorten the sales cycle. The digital experience, that's customers are really expecting better experiences. You know, that's the next generation. Technology is always moving forward. People want things in the new way. And once they see it through competitors or some other offering, they sort of expect it everywhere. And then rules and distributed system. This is, again, I touched on this a little bit in the fact that the rules are carried in through the visualization process, and they can be passed back to Configit. So everything that is happening inside Unity can be passed back to the CLM system for you to take action on later. So some of the benefits, so 5 times customer engagement, anywhere customer experiences. I'm going to just double click on that. So one of the key elements of Unity, one of its differentiating factors to a lot of other platforms in the market, is its build once, deploy anywhere. Unity supports, through contractual relationships and through engineering effort, I think it's like 36 different platforms in the world. That includes operating systems, VR goggle sets. It includes things like chipsets for HMI now. So these are, when you go with Unity, you can trust that the content you're making to reach your buyers will be able to reach them where they're shopping today and into the future. So bigger cart purchases, that's the 2x accessory, 95% reduction modeling time. Dave touched on that in the keynote with HomeAg, shorter sales cycle, and zero configuration errors thanks to Configit. So this is my last slide, just so everyone is aware of time. So I have focused on sales and marketing channel, but ultimately, as you know, Unity holistically has a vision for helping companies throughout their entire product life cycle, and so does Configit. So this visualization element in combination with the CLM system lets you make better decisions on what products you're bringing to market from day one. It lets people see the products that aren't even made yet. Then you can service the product, as was presented in one of the previous presenters' shows, was that during the service life cycle, you can now literally pull up that product that the customer bought 5 years ago and see it. You can share that with a repair technician. You can share that with the service technician on the phone. So all of these things, it's not, Unity and Configit are not just for sales and marketing, but that is the area that I'm focused on, and that's the area that we're bringing to market first as a joint venture. So that's it for me.
Thank you very much.